Hello and welcome to the Hill and Ponton Veterans Video Blog. I'm Matthew Hill.
I'm Carol Ponton.
And we're here to talk to you today about heart claims. Ever since the VA passed the new legislation on Niemer cases, or what we all know as Agent Orange cases, and finally admitted that Agent Orange causes heart disease, the number of heart claims has increased dramatically. And what we've been seeing at Hill and Ponton is after the VA concedes that the veteran has heart disease, they've been underrating the veteran, meaning they say, okay, you have this, but then they don't rate it properly. I just want to give you a quick synopsis on how the rating works. The VA looks to what are called METs, and it's a fancy medical term, which essentially means what your energy equivalent is. What are you able to do physically? Now, there are two ways to measure METs. The first way is a nuclear stress test, which is essentially an objective way of doing it.
Right, you actually are exercising, but they have all kinds of things hooked up to your body to see exactly how stressed your body is and how much it is able to work. And you get a grade. You get how many METs you were able to achieve.
The other way is for an examiner just to subjectively assign METs just based on the examiner's conversation with the patient, with the veteran. Now, just to kind of give you a rundown here, the VA groups the METs. If you're only producing, and the higher the METs, the more physically active you are, the healthier you are. So the VA says 1 to 3 METs, for example, the veteran will receive 100% rating. I think 3 to 5 is 60, and then below that it's I think a 30% rating for 7 to 10. But what they don't tell the veteran is the VA examiner is given a sheet to fill out. And that examiner is supposed to look at activities the veteran's doing. So for example, to show that a veteran's METs are from 10 to 7, that would be the equivalent of being able to climb stairs quickly, moderately going on a bicycle ride, or jogging at 6 miles an hour. So if you're able to do that, you are rather healthy. When you get down from 5 to 7 METs, the VA says that's the equivalent of walking 1 flight of stairs, golfing without a cart, mowing your lawn with a push mower being without a motor, and then doing heavy yard work. So what the VA examiner is supposed to do is check the box that reflects the lowest activity you as a veteran can do before you start getting symptoms of dizziness, of fatigue,
Shortness of breath,
and problems like that. The problem I've seen with this is the veteran will go in and have an exam, and the VA will check a box saying that he's got 5 to 10 METs, saying that he can golf without a cart, or he can push a mower without a motor. And I'll talk to the veteran. I'll say, well, what's the most active thing you do? And they'll say, well, sometimes I mow my lawn. And I'll say, okay, was that a lawnmower without an engine? And they'll look at me and laugh and say, no, I have a sit-on, ride-on lawnmower because I can't walk very far. So it's important for you when you go into these exams and they're measuring what your rating should be, that you are thinking about what is the most strenuous thing I can do in a physical activity standpoint without having the symptoms of fatigue or dizziness.
and also you need to think of the qualifications. Like the answer, yes, I can mow my lawn, fine with the examiner. He just checks the box. You need to make sure that any qualifications to what you can do are noted and made very clear to the examiner, but it has to be a riding lawnmower, and sometimes I can't even do that because of the sun. I just become fatigued. I start getting chest pains. So anything he asks you, if it's something that, yes, but, make sure you go ahead and make sure you tell him all the limitations you have with that.
And on that note, I would strongly recommend for men having heart pains, male veterans, that they bring their wives. I can't tell you how many vets I've spoken with where they say, yeah, I can go out and mow my lawn, and say it's as if it were nothing, and then the wife will chip in and say, yes, but he's in bed the rest of the day.
Exactly.
And so I've found that it's very important to have a wife there, or someone who sees the veteran on a day-to-day basis, because sometimes the vet doesn't even realize his limitations.
And sometimes men don't like to admit that there's some problems, and it hurts them, and that's really not fair to anyone.
Because as Carol says, they're going to check a box. The VA examiner has more patients to see, other things going on. They're not going to probe and see what's really going on there. So it's important that you think about that when going in. Even if you can do an activity, even if you can go out and jog, if that makes you have to go to bed for the rest of the day, or really destroys your physical abilities after that, you need to keep that in mind.
Right.
So thank you for joining us here again on this blog about heart disease. Again, it's important to remember least physical activity you do when you get symptoms, and bring your spouse, bring your significant other when you do go to the exam.